Well, hey kids, this is Jeff, and I'm here with the small group activity that we did live out on the patio right out there on Saturday morning. It's called Protecting It or Wrecking It. So I want to do that here with you. I'm indoors. It's a little less muggy and humid in here. I'm a little less sweaty. I didn't get too sweaty this week. If you've been watching every week, you've probably seen my shirt slowly get this like T-shaped sweat zone on it. And this week I stayed dry. It was awesome. So let's take a look at this small group here, Protecting It or Wrecking It. So you know, on Saturday morning, we learned that God provided our world and we need to take care of it. We looked at the first couple chapters of Genesis where God makes everything. He made the world and stars and moon and seas and plants and fish and birds and animals and then humans, and he made it all from nothing. We learned that we were kind of the pinnacle, the capstone, the highest point of God's creative energies. He made us in his image. It doesn't mean that we're better than everything else, but we are the thing in the world that really bears the image of God. And he created this world for us, but he gave us a role in it. It says in Genesis chapter 1, starting in verse 28, it says, God blessed them, the first two people, Adam and Eve, and said, be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and govern it, reign, not this kind of reign, but reign as in govern, over the fish in the sea, the birds of the sky, and all the animals that scurry along the ground. And then God said, look, I've given you every seed-bearing plant throughout the earth and all the fruit trees for your food. And so God creates this incredible world, and then he says, people, I have created you with a role. You are supposed to rule over this all. Not like a tyrant who does whatever he wants, but to really rule over someone means to care for them and provide for them and protect them. And that's really our role in nature, in our world. We're the ones who care for it and protect it and allow it to be the way God created it to be. And God said it was very good. So that might seem like a huge task. Like I was just reading this weekend, there was an oil spill in the Indian Ocean, and people are like scooping buckets of oil out of the water. And you might say, you know, man, how can I protect the world when people are spilling oil in the ocean? And all the time we read about pollution and deforestation and climate change and all kinds of stuff. And you might say, this is just way too big for me. This is a scientist issue. And maybe I'm going to be one of those scientists one day, but maybe not. So what does all this have to do with me? Well, in Protecting It or Wrecking It, we see that it has a lot to do with us. There are really some everyday kind of things that we can do to protect our world or to wreck our world. So I have got some pictures right here in my hand. This is the back side of the pictures because I don't want to spoil them. And I'm going to show these to you, and then you're just going to yell loudly in your house, wake up anyone who's there, protect it or wreck it. And we'll just go through these real quick, and we'll see some easy everyday ways that we can protect our world or we can wreck our world, all right? Got the first one right here. This is a refrigerator that is standing open. Protecting it or wrecking it? This one is obviously wrecking it. This uses electricity that we don't need. It has cool air pumping into our house. Food maybe starts to go bad if we just leave it open like that. There's a whole lot here that's not right. We should know what we're getting in the fridge before we go to it so we don't just stand to it with that like blank look on our face like if we just stare at it long enough, all of a sudden like chocolate cake will appear or something like that, right? We go to the fridge, we get what we need out, and we close that fridge. Even if we're just pouring milk and our cereal over, close that fridge. Protect our world. Using electricity is one of the things. When we use it, when we kind of waste it, it actually can help wreck our world. So close that fridge. Next one up, a recycle bin. Protect it or wreck it. Yeah, this definitely protects it, right? This allows us to reuse some of what we have instead of having things just go sit in a landfill. So plastic bottles, things like that. We want to put these in the recycle bin. We want these things to be reused. We don't want them in a landfill somewhere. We don't want them. You ever seen pictures of these like trash islands that form out in the ocean with all the trash like flows out of the rivers and in the oceans, and then you wind up with just like huge islands of plastic in the ocean? We don't want that. That wrecks our world. We want to protect our world. How about this? A full bus of people going to work or wherever they're going. This one was a tricky one on Saturday morning. We had a good discussion about this. Protect it or wreck it. I would say this helps protect our world. Now, using the bus maybe has, exhaust and pollution that goes out into the world, but I mean, imagine how many people are on this bus. You can fit, I don't know, 40, 50 people on a bus. Imagine if they all had their own car. That'd be a whole lot more pollution, right? So using a mass transportation like this, the metro line, the bus, that really does help protect our world. My favorite. This is air conditioning on. You can see the little air conditioning, the little blue lines, and the window and the door are wide open. Protect it or wreck it. This one's definitely a wreck it. This is one we're all guilty of sometimes. We've all heard our mom or dad yell something like, "Hey, what are we doing? Cooling the whole neighborhood?" Right? My mom used to yell it to me. I now inadvertently yell the same thing at my kids when they leave the door open. This is the same thing as the open refrigerator. It takes electricity to run our air conditioner, and when we open the door, the air conditioning is just kind of being wasted, and the electricity has to run more and more and more and more. So we want to protect our world by closing doors, closing windows, and allowing us to use the least amount of electricity as possible. How about this? Here's our pet doggy, Fido, and he's got a full bowl of food. Protect it or wreck it. Protecting it, right? I mean, Fido needs food. If we agree that we're going to have a dog in our house, then we better feed it. That protects the creation because God created Fido here too. So feeding and watering our animals, taking care of them is definitely the right thing to do. On the flip side, we've got Fido with no food. And the answer to this one is pretty obviously, wreck it. When we treat animals mean, whether they're our pets or whether they're the animals that we encounter in nature, that does not protect the world that God gave us. So we want to feed our pets. We want to be kind to animals that we see in nature. We don't want to throw rocks at them. We don't want to do anything like that. We want to protect animals. Here's another pet-based one. There's actually a lot of pet-based ones in here because these are everyday examples, right? Here's our other pet, Bingo. We'll call this one Bingo. And he's got his leash on. He's ready to go for a walk. But it looks like you are staring at a television. Protect it or wreck it. Yeah, this is another wreck it, right? First of all, we want to care for our animals, and they need exercise. We need exercise too, so it works out well. And then also, we don't want to sit in front of a television all day. This, again, uses electricity, all kinds of things. We want to turn the devices off and get outdoors when we can, especially if we got a pet that needs a walk. And the opposite, a guy getting ready to take, this is Fido again, for a walk. This, of course, protecting it. We've turned everything off. We're outside. We're taking care of our pet. And another pet-related one, again, because these are everyday examples, again. Someone's given this dog, I'm out of dog names now, we'll call this dog Butch. How's that? He's given Butch a nice bath. Protect it or wreck it? Yeah, protecting it, right? Butch needs a bath. He's going to give him a bath. Very nice. This one is someone brushing their teeth, but they have the water off. Protect it or wreck it. It's another example of protecting it, right? We don't want to waste things. So we don't want to waste food. We don't want to waste electricity. We don't want to waste water. Every time we do that, we have to use more and more resources, and it can really wreck the world that God made for us, that very good world that God made for us. So turn that water off. You've probably heard this a bunch of times at school and on commercials and things like that. Turn that water off while you brush your teeth. Actually, I'm pretty guilty of this one. I tend to leave it on. 40 years of bad habits. And we got a couple more here. We've got someone who finished their can of soda and just threw it on the sidewalk. Protect it or wreck it? Wreck it, right? Man, I go jogging. I jog for, 3-4 miles out there, and I can't tell you the number of cans and bottles I jog past while I'm going, and I can't stop and pick them up because I can't be like it's hard for me to jog anyways. I can't be like juggling all kinds of empty cans and bottles while I do that. One day I really should just go and pick up all this trash, which is a great thing for all of us to do. We don't want to do that. This goes in the recycle bin, right? We can recycle and reuse the aluminum that this can is in. We don't want to just throw our trash out and count on someone else to pick it up for us. And I've got the last one right here. What did I name this dog? I think this dog is named Bingo, and someone has tied up a bone out of Bingo's reach and is kind of teasing bingo that there's this bone that you can't reach. Protect it or wreck it. And that, of course, wreck it. That is really mean to an animal to tease it. So, I mean, you can do that with cats, right? You have the little ribbon and you dance around, but every now and then you let the cat catch it, right? It's a fun game for the cat. If you never let the cat catch it, now you're just being mean. We definitely want to be nice to animals. We don't want to throw things at birds or squirrels or bunnies that we encounter in nature. We want to be super kind because our job is to protect this world that God created, and God created this world very good. You know, like these photos show, you can choose every day to do things that either protect the world or wreck the world. And God put us in charge of his creation. And he didn't put us in charge of it just to use it however we want. You know, some people, you know, might say like, well, one day the world will end anyways and we'll get to be in heaven, so who cares how we use the world? I can tell you who cares. God. God cares. He created it. It's his special creation, and we want to take care of God's special creation the way that God would want it taken care of. He designed us to do this. So everyone, let's do it. God provided our world, and we need to take care of it. Hey, I'll see you guys later next week, Saturday. Outdoor Kids Church. It's our last one of the summer, and so you want to get signed up at ilovethischurch.com/events. After that, we'll take 1 week off, and I'll be online with you, but we won't be outside. And then we'll kick off our fall Outdoor Kids Church experience after that, because we're going to keep going until the weather gets too cold to be out there. So can't wait to see you on a Saturday morning. Remember the peanut butter challenge. Get that peanut butter and mac and cheese to me on Saturday mornings too. If you do, my head winds up with peanut butter on it. If we get 50 jars of peanut butter, 50 boxes of mac and cheese. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.